Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today I'm going to give you another great workout you can do in your house with minimal equipment and not a lot of space. So we're going to start with a one-arm row on the bench. I like to kind of work large muscle groups first, and this works your large muscle groups in your back along with your arm. So also doing one-sided exercises is really good to isolate and work one side without the assistance of the other. So really isolating one side, making that one arm or one leg or however we're doing one-sided exercises. It can actually feel a little bit harder because you're not using your core or your other muscles to brace and help along. So we're going to start with one arm rows on a bench. You can do these on the side of a bed. You can do them on the side of your coffee table, or if you have a bench like this at home, it's perfect. What I want you to do is put your same side, arm and knee on the bench. And then I want a flat surface for your back. So my back is nice and flat. I'm going to drop the weight off the edge of the bench just a little bit. I don't want to drop it down here. Everything needs to stay nice and flat. My shoulder blades are set. And I'm going to pull up. So I'm going to drive my elbow towards the ceiling, squeezing my shoulder blade toward my spine. 5, really breathing, going nice and slowly. This could be a little bit heavier of a weight, I would say. You can always, if you don't have a heavier weight and you really still want to get a great workout, you can slow down. You can do more. I say that a lot, but it really does make a big difference. Sometimes if I'm, in a hurry to get a workout, just a good muscle fatigue, you can still just take a small set of dumbbells and really get quite a bit of a workout in if you just slow it down and do more. You don't have to have really heavy weights around in order to get a great workout. Keeping that back nice and flat, driving your elbow towards the ceiling. So lowering it nice and slowly, really resist that gravity. And good, rest. Okay, good. So we're going to do this in a circuit fashion like we do quite a bit. Next, we're going to do step ups. So I have my little step here. You don't need anything fancy, but you can use the bottom of a staircase if you have stairs in your home. You can even just go up and down your stairs if that's what you prefer. But I'm going to have you hold a weight in one hand. So I've got a kettlebell here. You don't necessarily need a kettlebell. You can use a dumbbell. You can use a gallon jug of water. But what I want is, no matter how you're doing this, you're holding the weight in the hand away from your base of support, where you can grab on to the railing or to the, wherever you are and you have a step. So we're going to step up and then back down with that same foot. So we're going to do 10. So right, left, up and down on that same foot. Trying to keep your shoulders nice and level. One reason for just holding weight in one arm is that you have this one available to grab on if you lose your balance. The other reason is it requires some core stabilization to just hold a weight in one hand. It's more functional. Generally, when you're carrying something heavy, you're carrying one of them, whether it's a bucket of water or a watering can or groceries or a suitcase. So you want to be strong enough so that your back doesn't get tight from holding a weight in one hand. You want to have that be kind of a normal part of your life. Okay, now we're going to go to the other way. So I'm going to turn this way a little bit. So now the other foot, up and down, trying to keep your shoulders nice and level. Engaging that core, helping your back hold that heavy weight. Like I said, you can go up and down your staircase if that's what you'd rather do, or you can go up and down on a step, or a step that you might have in your workout room at home. Okay, good. So most importantly, when you set that weight down, bend your knees, bend your hips, lower it down gently. Okay, step ups. Next we're going to do lateral raises. So we're gonna pick a weight that maybe is a little bit lighter in your dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, you can use soup cans, water bottles, gallon jug waters, you know, things like that. So pick up your weights with good form. If you can, let's add a little bit of instability to this. So I'm gonna add a little tandem stance, and we're gonna go out to the side. 2. So notice when I do this, I'm stopping kind of just below my shoulder. I don't want to go way up here. That can cause shoulder pain, and I don't want to do that. Also, if you're having shoulder pain with this, there's a couple different things we can do. Instead of going straight out to the side, you can go forward just a little, so more of in a diagonal pattern. The other thing you can do is if you're having, sometimes I have people that have forearm pain or shoulder pain with this, you can start here and raise out like this. All it does is takes the lever down so that your shoulder doesn't have to take all of that, and then your elbow too. If you're having any pain here with this lateral raise, bring it here and lift up like that. So you're still getting the same muscles, it's just shortening that lever so it's not as hard on those joints and those muscles that might be talking to you a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna lower down to the floor. We're gonna do some bicycle abs on the floor. So lie down on your back. And like I often talk about, I want your hands beside your hips, your feet flat on the floor, and then I want you to think, so if you're just lying normally, your back is probably arched a little bit, you can slide a hand under there. Flatten your back to the floor. So what that does is it engages your abs, protects your back, especially if you have any back pain. So make sure you do that step first, and then we're gonna do bicycle abs. So what it is it's just bending and straightening one knee, or opposite knees at the same time. And then if you're able to do that without back pain, you can try lifting them up. Keep breathing, really trying to maintain that flat back. If you're having trouble maintaining that flat back, stop, reset, and go again. Now, if you're having back pain with this, try putting one foot down. So that closer foot will give your back a little bit of support while you're doing this exercise. Your core is really working hard here. But if you're unable to maintain that flat back and you're having back pain, try putting your feet down on the floor, at least one of them, to help support that back. Okay, good. Try 10 on each side and try those modifications if you need them. Next, I'm going to have you grab a balloon. So we've done this a little bit in the past. We're going to do some balance exercises with a balloon. So stand back up. Remember, if you tend to get dizzy or lightheaded, stand back up slowly so that you don't have any trouble. So maybe sit up for a second and then get to your knees, and then maybe sit on the side of a bench or your bed and then stand up. So do that slowly. You don't have to get up quickly. I'm going to have you do this to start. I want a narrowed base of support. So wherever you are on your balance challenge, I want you to do this safely. So maybe do it next to your kitchen counter or something. You can also do this with your back against a wall. So, you know, you're not leaning on it, but it's there in case you lose your balance. So you could try it with a narrowed base of support. And if that's challenging for you, stay there. Try a little bit of a staggered stance so my feet aren't exactly in front of each other. Just tap the balloon to yourself. If that's okay and not very challenging, you can do the tandem stance. And then finally, try a single leg stance. So wherever you are on that, you know, kind of balance continuum, start where you are. Start where it's a little bit of a challenge for you without being dangerous. Now I want you to go for about 30 seconds in one position, wherever you're at, and make sure, importantly, that you don't have stuff around you that you're going to trip on if you do lose your balance. So stay in a safe spot. The other thing Like I said, standing up against a wall with your back against a wall and doing this is another great way to do it, because then you can always lean back against the wall. And that's a really safe, like if you're not doing this in your kitchen or you don't have any like sturdy place to hang on, do it with your back against a wall, and then you've got a little more control if you do start to lose your balance. Okay, so 30 seconds on each foot, or with one foot in front and then the other foot in front, that type of thing. Challenge yourself. If it's feeling pretty easy to you, you can do this with a partner. You can tap it back and forth. Challenge yourself and make it go further, Also, if this is a challenge, just kind of walking around and keeping it in the air, that's another way to go about this. There's lots of ways to kind of, do this and have fun with it. And really, we want to have fun while we're working out, right? Okay. The last one we're going to do is lying back down on the ground. Let me refresh my screen here. We're going to lie on your side. So you can either use a pillow or your arm here. So you want to keep your head in a straight line with the rest of your spine, so that you're not here, because this is a really awkward position to be in. So either use your elbow or get a pillow, or a yoga block works great. And then, or you can even sit like this. It doesn't really, whatever's comfortable. We're going to do a lower leg lift. So you could also be up on your elbow. There's a lot of ways to do this one. We're not doing a side plank or anything. So a side lying leg lift like this. So we're working the inner part of your thigh. We want to strengthen all areas of your hip. So the adductors and the abductors and the flexors and the extensors. So all the areas of your hip. If that feels good, let's do it this way. You can even kind of bring it out to the front just a little bit, but keep your foot parallel to the ground. The other way, some people like to do this, is put one foot over and then up. I prefer having that foot behind. It gives me a little more control. Nice and slowly. It's not a very big movement. You don't need to go way up here. It's really just right here. And last one. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. Either up on your elbow or down on your side, whatever's kind of most comfortable. Oops. And then lifting that lower leg. So working on those adductors. 5, nice and slowly. Don't set it down in between, because that lets those muscles rest. Nice and easy. 9 and 10. All right, good. One good way to stretch those muscles is to either sit up on the side of the bench and put one leg out to the side. You could try a little bit of a straddle stretch, maybe with your back up against a wall so you have some support, but getting those adductors stretched out can feel really good. Sometimes they can be crampy. I've had some people complain about them being crampy in the middle of the night, or, just kind of randomly throughout the day. We don't necessarily stretch these adductors very much. So if you're getting on the ground and doing a straddle stretch is too much, the other way you can do it is sitting on the edge of a bench or a chair. The bench, oops, I gotta raise that up. The bench works pretty good because you can straighten one leg out. So like the edge of your bed works great. So putting one foot up like you're gonna do a hamstring stretch, but then opening up and leaning forward like this. So I'm stretching my adductor right now by leaning forward with my leg up, either on the sofa or, like I always say, a coffee table, the edge of your bed, a workout bench like this, anything like that works great. And then we'll switch sides. So straighten that leg out. You can do a good hamstring stretch first, and then lean over like this. Getting a phone call from someplace. And then just lean towards the center of the room. Okay, make sure you do all the rest of your stretches in addition to those. And also, like I always say, go Oh, I wasn't sure if it was still recording. Go through them a couple times. So you can just start at the beginning now with that one arm row on the bench and just continue through a couple more times. If you're running short on time, at least get through it once and then do your stretches. Always come into these workouts warmed up and then cool down at least a little when you're done by stretching and taking some nice deep breaths, drinking some water, and do them through 2 to 3 times if you've got the time. All right, thank you everybody, and let me know if you have any questions or feedback, and I'll see you next time.